Isaac, I think we can start. We have the more or less the head count. Before we officially start, again, good afternoon to everyone. Hola, hola.
Hola.
So this is our third installment of the Winemaker session. We're going into a more famous region in the Ribera del Duero region. This is one of our Spanish producer, Bodega Valderiz, which is again in line with our philosophy of family-run, very small boutique producer. At the same time, is a pioneer for organic and biodynamic farming in the region. Among the key red wine regions for Tempranillo in Spain, you can argue that Toro and Rioja is one of the top regions, but I think Ribera del Duero produces unlike any other Tempranillo in Spain. And then we're very pleased to have Isaac Fernandez, the winemaker of this bodega. We wanted to show the vineyards and the bodega, but it's a busy day today in the bodega, given that there's some bottling during this period. So we're in the home of Isaac still in Spain in Ribera, and basically a brief background of Isaac. Isaac has been making wines for almost 3 decades.
More than more than 3 decades rather, and one bodega that's very familiar to some of you guys is Bodega Mauro. His uncle is the famed winemaker Mariano Garcia.
Pero
Garcia
yung mga papasok natin, alam mo na ba ang...
Excuse me, can you have everyone in mute? Hold on.
Wait, you can, as host, you can mute.
Yeah. There you go. Going back, his uncle is the famed winemaker Mariano Garcia, who was the longest winemaker for Vega Sicilia for about 30 or more vintages, if I'm not mistaken. So he was really in the tutelage of his uncle, and in 2005 he joined Bodega Valderiz. And when we were talking, he had nothing but high praises for the family, the Esteban family. The Esteban family is known in the region of Ribera as super growers. They make very high quality grapes for Tempranillo. And then with that said, without any further delay, let's all softly clap for Isaac Fernandez. Isaac, you're on mute. You're on mute. Can you unmute yourself?
Sorry?
There you go. We can hear you now. Thank you. Please proceed.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Thank you. Okay. Well, I said good morning to everybody. Thank you for being here in this special day, tasting the Valderiz wines, the Chiripa wine, and well, welcome to everybody. I starting to talk a little bit in general. Okay. I think, well, that we have 1 hour for talk about all the things of the winery, of all the characteristics of the wines, and to talk well at last in general of the family of Valderiz family. Well, Butch make the presentation of myself. Well, I have nothing else to say about this. I started, well, I was a student at high school. I worked in vacation for 3 vintages in Vega Sicilia, making the harvest, okay? In 80, 81, 82. Later, in 1984, I started in Mauro Winery. I think that most of you know Mariano Garcia. He was the winemaker for 30 years of Vega Sicilia. It's a man with a lot of experience in wine, in long aging wines, and I feel like a lucky man because I was working in this winery in Mauro, where I learned a lot. I learned a lot of the quality wines. Well, I started there in 1984, and later when I was there for 21 years, and later working in this winery, I started to make to work with another wineries like a consultant. Okay, I decided to leave the Mauro winery in 2005 after 21 years working there. Okay, and in this year I started with Bodega Valderiz. I knew Bodega Valderiz since a long time ago, since they started, because this winery was considered one of the special wineries in Ribera del Duero. What is my philosophy? My philosophy is to work a lot with indigenous grape. In here in Ribera del Duero, we consider that the indigenous grape, the Tempranillo, that we call Tinta del País or Tinta Fina. Okay, close to the 100% of this grape, we are working for all the wines in Valderiz. Well, okay. I had another experience. When I left Mauro, I was working in a lot of different regions. I went to Romania. I was in Spain, in Rioja, in Rías Baixas, in Rueda, in Toro, in a lot of different DOs in Spain. And this gave me a lot of experience of the different varieties of the different regions in Spain. This was very important for my professional job. Okay, well, I'm a Spanish man, but I was born not in Spain. I was born in Germany. Okay, I was living there because my parents were immigrants for 10 years, and this gives me very good experience because German people are very good workers, and this gives me a very good philosophy that I later adapted to make the wines. Well, I'm living here in Valladolid City. Valladolid City, it's in the center of Spain. This is very close to Ribera del Duero. Ribera del Duero, it's an appellation of origin. It's a small appellation of origin that is in length is around 115 kilometers, and in width is 30 kilometers. We are in 4 provinces. Valladolid, it's in the west. Burgos, it's in the northeast. Soria, a little bit of Soria, only a little bit of Soria. This is it's in the east, and in the south a little bit of Segovia, only a little bit. But mainly it's Valladolid and Burgos. Valderiz winery is located in Burgos province. Well, this DO, this appellation of origin, Ribera del Duero, it's in the flat. The altitudes, it's around from 600 and 650 meters until 900 meters, 1,000 meters over the sea level. This is while you are going from west to east. In Valladolid, we are more closer to the 600, 700 meters. But in Burgos, we are over the 800 meters. In Roa, where is located the winery, we are around 800 meters in altitude, okay? This DO, this appellation of origin, was founded in 1982. But the winemaking in this region was very, very old. This is coming earlier than the Roman Empire was here. If you visit the town, you can see the different Roman roads, because you can see Roman ruins there, and the Roman extended the viticulture all over this territory. Okay, well, like I said before, Ribera del Duero is located in the middle of Spain. It's it's over Madrid. I'm talking. I take Madrid like a reference. We are taking Madrid in the center of Spain like reference. We are over 150 kilometers to the north. This is 100 miles. Okay. Well, how is the climate here? Well, the climate is very dry. The rains are between 350 liters and 600 liters per year. Well, the temperatures in winter are very extreme. We arrive until minus 10 degrees centigrade. But in summer we have around 30, 38 and sometimes 40 degrees centigrade, but very, very, very dry, okay? Here we have 2 times very, very dangerous. One of them is in May. We have the late frosts that can affect it to us in the maybe in the half month or the 3rd week of May. This happens in 2017, affected a lot of frost. And we have the other danger that is the hail when we have storms. This happens in June, July, and August. Okay. Well, the type of soils that we have in Ribera del Duero, well, I'm going to talk later when I'm going to talk about the viticulture of the Chiripa wine. Well, but here the soil is very calcareous. We have a lot of limestone. That what gives this to the wine? That gives a lot of color matte, and that gives to us a lot of tannins. These are the 2 characters of this kind of soils. Good color, very beautiful color, and very intense, and the tannins. The structure of the wine are very, very good. Okay. Well, one of the important thing that happens in Ribera del Duero is during August. In August, by night, the temperature comes down, less than 10 degrees centigrade. And during the day, it goes very high. This contrast of temperature give a very good stability to the wine and to the ripeness of the grape for the future wines. Well, usually we starting here in a normal year, we starting harvest here around the 1st week or the last week of September, the 1st of October. Well, the varieties of Ribera del Duero, well, we have a lot of them, but we are working with Tempranillo, that we call Tinta del País or Tempranillo. And for the special wines, we work a little bit with Albillo. Albillo is a white grape that gives elegant, that fixes the color, and that contains sugar for the alcoholic grape. After this, we have to care about how we search the harvest date. Because if you are looking for a very high maturity of the grapes, it's possible to have very high alcoholic grape and very low acidity. And it's important to choose this date because you need a balance between the acidity and the alcoholic grape. Okay, this is very important to choose. This is very important. In Valderiz, we are one of the wineries that started the first to harvest. We started half September, the 3rd week of September, because all harvest is picked up by hand, and we need 3 weeks. 3 weeks for finish the harvest. That means that at first we have to pick up harvest the most mature plots until the last that we leave there for, well, that these plots that the maturity is not so high like the first we try. Okay. Well, some question? The viticulture. Well, I'm going to talk not in general of the viticulture. I'm going to say something general of viticulture, but I'm going to dedicate this viticulture focused in the Chiripa wine, okay? Valderiz, it's a familiar, it's a small winery. This winery has got around 70 hectares at the moment. 70 hectares, 70. Well, they started to plant the different plots in the 80s, in the first 80s, okay, when the grandfather led to Tomás Esteban. Tomás Esteban is today the father of the family. Started with the viticulture. The grandfather let 10 hectares of this 70, let 10 hectares for them, and the other 60 they planted since 1980 or so. Well, these 70 hectares are divided in 35 different plots. And the different plots, we use these different plots, always are the same plots for make the Valdermoso Joven, for make the Roble, for make the Chiripa, for make the Valderiz wines and the top wines, Juegabolos and Tomás Esteban, okay? Talking about the Chiripa wine, for this we work with a plot that we call La Guindalera. Guindalera. Guindalera, the translation is, I don't know, but maybe Guindalera means a plot, or means a part, an area where you have different trees of berries, you know, berries trees. This is an area that is called so, with this name, La Guindalera. La Guindalera, it's all the plots, and Guindalera also are very close to the town, to Roa. Roa is located maybe very close. It's Roa, the Duero, the town, the village, is crossed by the Duero River. Okay, this is in the province Burgos. I think that is in the middle of Ribera Duero, maybe a little bit to the east. Okay, and here, the altitude is around 850 meters over the sea level. The age of this plot, it's around 20 years. I'm not sure, 20, 22, 25, but it's around 20 years. This is planted in goblet. You know what is goblet? It's like a bush. It's like a cup, It's goblet with 3, 4, and 5 arms. Okay, it's not in the espalier. Most of the vineyards are planted in this style, in gobelet. In French we say gobelet. Well, and the pruning, we call a short pruning. Okay, it's a short pruning. It's all dedicated to make a very low production. In Ribera Duero, it's allowed to produce 7,000 kilograms of grapes per hectare. But here in Valderiz, we are around 5,000. Well, in the very old plots, in the very old plants, the production is, of course, it's lower. It's around 3,000 kilograms, depending on the potential of the year. Okay. Well, the climate here in this part of Ribera Duero, in Roa, it's a continental climate, like in all the Ribera Duero, with a little influence of the Mediterranean Sea. Well, this makes a special climate. But as we are in the center of Spain, we are in a dry climate. Humidity is very, very low. We are humidity, I don't know, but we are in 20% or lower. It's very, very low. Well, well, I don't know if Butz told you that all the viticulture that all the wine growing, it's ecological and certified. It's ecological and biodynamic. Since our first vintage is 2018. All is ecological, all the plots, all the 70 hectares, and certified, and also biodynamic. Well, leaving the soils. Sorry, the soils are soils, sandy soils, a little bit sandy, with a low content of clay. I'm talking about the Guindalera, the wine, the plot that we use for produce this wine, the Chiripa, and mostly mixed with the limestone, calcareous. This is the most important type of soil that we have in Ribera del Duero, because the flat of Ribera del Duero was 15 millions of years ago was a sea. This sea dries, and with the erosion of the wind, of the water, make the not very tall hills, and this is the cause that we are in these different attitudes. And in the top of the hills we are around 1,000 meters. In the valleys we are, in the valleys of the river, we are around 650 meters. Okay, this is very important. The soil is one of the soil, and of course the climate. We have the dry, very extreme climate, and the soils, mostly calcareous, mostly limestone, and a little bit of clay. This makes a very good blending of soils for make a special viticulture in Ribera del Duero. Well, leaving the plot, the Guindalera, if someone have a question, I can answer with pleasure. And well, but leaving the plot, we
have one question. It's from Don Di Mapa. Don Di, you care to ask the question directly to Isaac?
Yeah. Well, I was talking about the wine earlier with Boots, and I've tried a lot of Tempranillo blends, and Albillo is really a unique grape, varietal, to mix with Tempranillo. I think it has an excellent effect on the bouquet.
No, that gives us a softness to the wine.
So, is this a Cecilia Vega secret, or did you discover it? Do other wineries also mix Albillo with Tempranillo?
No. Well, this is the question. This is the Vega Cecilia secret. No. In long time ago, in Spain, in this region, in Ribera del Duero, it was the production of the wine was rosé wines, but dark rosé wines. Here in Spain, or here in Ribera del Duero, we say that the wine was made in the vineyards, not in the cellar, in the vineyards. Why? Because they make the blending of the different kinds, of the different varieties of grape, of Tempranillo, of Grenache, of Cabernet, of Bobal, of Albillo. They made in the vineyards. They blend all the grapes, and after this, they used to make the process of fermentation only, but for not with maceration. Here they use the grape for make the rosé wines. But this is not the secret. The secret, if you take a look to the very old plots in Ribera del Duero, not the 100%. I'm talking about 80 years old, 90 years old, 70 years old maybe. Well, but if you take a look to these very old plots and very small, well, you can see not only Tempranillo. You can see Tempranillo. You can see a little bit of Grenache. You can see this white grape Albillo, and another white grape, not very good quality. This is Pirulés. Pirulés is a variety. It's very flat. Okay, and here in our plots, you can find, or in many old plots in Ribera del Duero, you can find mostly Tempranillo, and you can pick up this Tempranillo and the Albillo. The ripeness of Albillo comes earlier than Tempranillo, but you can blend it. And what you make with the rest of the grapes, maybe you can leave it there. But this is not this is not a secret of Bodega Sicilia. This comes from our grandfather or grandfathers when they started to make the viticulture and to make this kind of wines that we call the wine was made in the vineyard, not in the cellar. The blending in grapes vineyard. This is coming from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For the other, like the Vega Bolos, it's 100% Tempranillo, right? So you made a conscious decision there, right, to make it 100%, right? So
well, it depends. It depends. It depends. What? Well, I said before when we starting with a meeting.
Mhm.
This kind of wine, the Juega Bolos and the Tomás Esteban, we make these wines in a very, very exceptional years, okay? And what depends of all? It depends the ripeness, depends how it's coming the year, okay? And the production, well, it's very low, and sometimes we taste the grapes. We visit very often the vineyards, how it's going, the maturation of the grapes, and all of this depends for the last moment what we are going to do. But usually we add a little bit of Tempranillo, a little bit of Albillo Mayor that we say, for give this softness, this elegance to the wine. Forgives because Albillo it's a little bit flat. It's with a low acidity, but this complements very well with the Tempranillo.
Yeah. So the bouquet of this, if it's not coming from the Albillo, then it's coming from the way that you've aged it, right? So usually that comes from the barrel, like if you use new oak or old oak.
Mm-hmm.
And Butch was telling me you probably have three ways to age it. So maybe you could tell us about your aging technique.
Yes. Well, I'm going to talk to you later when I'm going to talk about the elaboration. I told you a little bit, very, very fast around this kind of wine. Okay. Well, the bodega, in Spanish bodega, in English is the winery or the cellar. Okay. This is a small winery. They make new construction. They increase the bodega with a new construction. Okay. And wow, this is Ricardo. He's contacting. Wow, I talked with him. This is Ricardo, the owner of the winery. He sent me an WhatsApp. Well, this is small, but we are growing a little bit this year. This last year, 2019, we adapted the new tanks, the new concrete tanks. Okay. Well, the cellar is very small. You can visit it when you want, and you can see directly how they work. And you can taste wines coming from the barrel of the different plots, wines that destination is going to the different wines, to the Roble, to the Juega Bolos, to Tomás Esteban, to Valderiz, to Chiripa. Well, they have a reception hopper, okay? Because they pick up the grapes by hand in a very small truck, okay? They take it to the winery and they make the process in the same day. Well, here during the harvest date, the harvest time, the temperature could be very low or very high, it depends. But when you are picking the grapes in the morning, you can receive these grapes very cold. But if you are picking up in the afternoon, maybe it's coming very, very hot, the grapes. It's very important to cool the grapes, very important, okay? What we do, well, we take to the winery, we put it in the hopper. Later, from the hopper goes to the selection band, where some people are making a selection of the bunches. Well, after this, with no crushing, we take to the special pump. It's a peristaltic pump that push through a big tube, okay, but very short to the different tanks, okay? Well, all the plots, we make the process by separate all the plots, okay? All the plots by separate. This is because we have different tanks with different capacities. We have tanks of 25,000 liters and tanks of 10,000 liters, okay? And for Jogaboros Tomas Esteban, we have oak tanks of 300 kilograms or liters and 500 liters of capacity. This makes possible to separate all the grapes depending on from which plot are coming, okay? And this separation we maintain, and also in aging. We only make the blending in the last moment. In the last moment, when we are going the final blending for produce the different wines, okay? Well, the tanks are made of steel, tanks of steel. We have tanks of oak for fermentation, and we have tanks of concrete also. This is very good. I can talk you when you want how is the effect of the different tanks in fermentation, in elaboration of the wines. Well, okay. We are the treatments that we are giving to the chiripa. I'm talking not in general. I prefer to talk and to focus in chiripa. When we pick up the grapes from La Guindalera, we take to the winery, and immediately we make the process. It crush a little bit the grape. It's important to crush a little bit the grape, not with a crusher machine. Why the bunches and the stem machine? The stem machine is a special that cares very, very well the grape, okay? But opens a little bit the grape. It's very important because for make the process, we need to open a little bit the grape, only a little bit, for extract the most from the grape. It's not good to make the fermentation for this kind of wines with the whole grape, because in the future, when you press a little bit, maybe you can have most with sugar in the last stage of the fermentation, and this is not good. Maybe this is for a semi carbonic maceration for young wines, but we're making long maceration for this kind of wines and not the half carbonical maceration. This is because we need to have an open grape. Immediately it goes to the tank, to different tanks, and depending of what is the temperature of grape, we cool this until 10 degrees, 11 degrees centigrade. This is very good because we don't use the commercial yeast. We don't use tannins. We don't use enzymes. We don't use nothing. It's all pure. It's pure viticulture and pure way of winemaking. And this is not a tale. This is the reality. If you sometimes are in vintage, you can see it with your own eyes. Okay, this is one of the special. We are making this fermentation with no yeast, no commercial yeast. We are using the indigenous grape, the spontaneous fermentation, because as we made it for years, this kind of indigenous grape adapted to the winery. And this is because we don't have problems in fermentation. We don't have problems, microbiology problems. And this gives a very good effect to the different wines, okay? Well, for chiripa, when we introduce, we try to cool it until 10, 11 degrees centigrade for make a maceration before fermentation, a cool maceration that we call. Well, after this fermentation, a spontaneous fermentation, started in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th day, okay? It depends in the moment of harvest. When we are starting, there is low population of yeast in the winery. But when we are fermenting all the different tanks, we have to care because immediately starting the next tanks to fermentation. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
Well, after this, how much times we pump over? You know, the pump over for make a blending of the must and for have a good extraction. We use a special machine. It's a small machine, but this is very good because we don't have to run the most around a tube around the pump. Okay, what we do, we use the carbonic, the CO2 produced in fermentation, for take it to the bottom of the tank, and this moves all the moist. This coming over the hut, you know, the hut, the cup of the skins, and this breaks it. This makes a very, very intense and special maceration of our wines. And how much times do we make it during the day? Not very often, because we don't want to a very intense extraction, because we don't want the tannins. Well, you know, I have to tell you that the tannins are very ripe, because we are looking at a very good balance between the ripeness of the grape, how is the alcoholical grade, how are the tannins, and all these things. Okay, and usually we pump over with this machine in the first step once a day. When we are in the middle of the fermentation, okay, we make it twice a day. And in the last step, when alcoholical grade is coming up, because we are in the last step of fermentation, we make it only one time, because you know that the alcohol extract a lot of tannins and many other things from the seeds and from the skins. But it's better, like the tannins, it's better to control this extraction. Okay. The temperature, the fermented temperature is around 24 degrees centigrade.
Another question. What is this? What's out on the label? Is that your house?
No.
No. And also, it says Anuesta Madre, Maculada Cristobal. Nieta, on the back, right? Nieta del.
Yes, this is the name. Sorry. I maybe I had to tell you before of this name of this. Where is this name coming from?
Yeah.
This is the chiripa. It's a nickname in Spain. It's a nickname. This is the nickname of the grandfather of the family. The grandfather in the mother's branch. You know. Yep. The father of the mother, the nickname was the chiripa. This the relation of chiripa is something around the lucky. Okay. This is where. Sorry.
And Juegabolos.
Juegabolos is the name of a plot. Because Juegabolos, we have a play here that we call bolos. It's like the bowling. You know, the bowling, and the history says that somebody played to the bowling and played with another man with a viticulture, and who won takes for him the plot. This is we call the Juegabolos. The translation could be bowling play, because they play to bowling. Who was the next owner of this plot? This is the name of Juegabolos, and this is the single plot in Ribera.
Isaac, can you talk about what expressions you want to achieve in the chiripa, and also what notes do you get? I get a lot of violets, blue, black and red fruits as well. What is your overall achievement for the chiripa?
I go with this immediately. Well, the aging is around 12 months. Okay, 12 months in the different parts. This is the 50% is in Pudre. Pudre it's an oak tank. It's a small oak tank around 1,500 liters until 2,000 liters. Okay. The other 20% is made in concrete egg, and the 30% is in oak, in new barrels of 225 liters, and a little bit of used oak. Okay, this makes very special. The temperature, this level, is for keep the fruity aromas. You know that, if you ferment it in a low temperature, you have more fruit and less structure. If you are fermenting in a high temperature, you lose a little bit of fruit, and you get more in structure. And this is, well, a balance between fruit and extraction. Okay, for this wine, for this floral wine of Chiripa, okay? After this the malolactic fermentation is made also in steel tank. Well, after malolactic fermentation, we rack the wine, we make a sedimentation of the wine, and when the wine is clean, we racked it to the aging tanks, to the foudres, to the concrete eggs, and to the barrels, okay? What you are talking, Butch, what you talked about the characteristics of the wine, okay? This is not a long aging wine. This is 12 months in aging, okay? What was the important character, the important way of this wine? It was the fruit, the expression of the grape, okay? The expression of the grape. Of course, that in Ribera del Duero, it's easy to have a very good color in the wines. If you see to the color, we have a very intense red with a little bit of blue colors or violet colors, because violet colors is a characteristic of the young wines, okay? Of the young wines. While you are aging longer and longer the wines, you are losing a little bit of this violet color, and this is going more to red, okay? To red color. Talking about the nose, about what you feel in your nose. What you feel in the nose, the first thing that can impress you is a lot of fruit. It's a lot of fruit. It's what we call the primary aromas. The primary. I don't know if you consider the same thing. Primary aromas are coming from the grape, from the fruit. The secondary are coming from the fermentation, and the third stage is coming from aging. This is a lot of primary aromas. This is a lot of red berries. You can find black fruit, ripe fruit, okay? Because this is a wine coming from not very young vines, and we try to make it's a wine with a lot of freshness, with a fruit character, a lot of floral also, and a small touch of oak, okay? Sure that this wine, if you open in the future a bottle of this 2017, it's possible that the evolution is going to be wonderful. Maybe in the future you can have another in your nose, not only the fruit, you can have maybe a lot of complexity that you can get by the aging of the wine in oak, okay? But the special thing, what we are looking for is this, is the fruit, the expression of the grape, and a lot of elegance. This is caused that maceration is not so intense. We don't need no tannins there, only the little bit, forget this structure, and these tannins need to be very ripe, okay? Because this is a wine to drink not very late, immediately, when you bottle this wine. Well, 2017 was a very good year, a very good vintage in talking about quality of the grape. It was very good, but in production was very, very bad, because all over Ribera del Duero, we produce only 55 million of kilograms in whole Ribera del Duero, when the normal production used to be around the 100 millions of kilograms. This happens because the frost we had in May of this year of 2017. But well, how was the cycle of the growing? How was the growing of this year? Well, usually mm, the plant, the different vineyards, starting the cycle in May. But this year the climate was wonderful, and the plant started to grow in April. In April is a danger. It's a danger because in next month we have this danger of frost in usually well, and when the plant was so grow, okay, we had a frost in Ribera del Duero, affected to a lot of different wine growers. Also in Valderiz, affected a little bit also. This was a year because we had a small production of this wine. Okay, how was the summer? The summer was a little bit dry, and we need to care a lot about what may lead us of the production, because later in July, August, starting the other danger, the hail. Well, and then this year, this vintage, we starting to harvest in, I think, the second week of October. Okay, because usually when we have frost and the plant needs to grow again, what means this, that the harvest date is coming later of this. Well, this is all about the chiripa. It's possible to talk more than 1 hour, more than 2 hours about this, but better for me in front of a glass with this wine for share with you this special moment with this special wine. Okay, and now the question. Thank you to everybody. Sorry if I let something in this paper that I didn't say, and well, hope to see you sometimes in the winery. It's a pleasure for us if you sometimes are going to visit our winery for see by yourself how we work and how is the quality and how is all this artisanal work. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Isaac. We're allowing for direct, this portion is for Q&A, question and answer. So you may ask Isaac anything about the wine. I think he presented Ribera, the region, the winemaking, very detailed. Thank you for that, Isaac. Very detailed. Makes us want to.
I try to have an order, but it was a little bit impossible. But well, you understand.
Yeah. But thank you. Any questions for Isaac? Feel free to ask him directly.
Isaac, what's the aging potential of this chiripa?
What is the aging?
Aging potential. How long can we keep it in our?
Yes, it depends. Well, it depends. The potential. Maybe you can keep this wine sure that 10 years or more. I'm going to tell. Well, I say you 10 years. Maybe it's more. It's 15 or more. Okay. The important thing is that you have a very good tannins that protect it a lot, and this is very good for aging in the bottle. And one of the important things, the other important thing, is the acidity. The acidity and the pH of the wine. The acidity is very high. The pH, of course, is very low, and this makes able to age the wine a long time. I'm talking to you about 10 years, but maybe this wine is able to age more than 15 years in the bottle. Okay.
Follow-up question. How long has your vineyard been existing, the Bodega Valderiz? How long have you been producing wine?
How long?
Yeah.
How long? Are you talking about me? How producing wines?
No, your
repeat because the sound is not very good.
Bodega Valderiz. How long? Yeah. Well, okay. Direct question. What is your oldest wine of the chiripa?
Well, the chiripa. I don't know exactly what was the first chiripa, but this is a recent auction. Is 15, maybe 15, 2015 vintage. I produced the first one until today.
First vintage.
I'm not sure if the first was 15 or maybe 16. Hmm?
So
Okay.
Gran Hacienda Wines can buy some of your first vintage, so we can buy it.
No, all the wines, this kind of wine, are going in the same line. We try to go in the same line. The only differences maybe could be the year, the potential of the year. Okay, we don't want an alcoholical wines. This is very important because we are looking for the balance between acidity and alcoholical grade. The acidity is very important. It's one of the most difficult thing in Ribera del Duero because here the summer is very hot and it is possible to have a very, very fast maturity, and if you don't have a lot of care, it's possible to have a very alcoholical wines with a very low acidity.
Gracias.
This is very important.
Gracias.
How near are you to the river? Your vineyards are beside Riviera?
Roa, the town, the village, the vineyards are around, but not close to the town. It's around, okay? And the river cross the town, okay? How distance to the different plots, to Guindalera, to the river? Maybe, I don't know, but maybe 1-2 kilometers or so, 2,000 meters, the distance from the river. We are not in the valley, because the vines that are growing close to the river is not the good area for wine growing. We are looking at special things. And who are the people that better know about wine growing? The old people, because they have all the experience. They know perfectly which soil, or which area, or which plot is better for grow vineyards, and which is better for grow cereals, okay, or another kind of agriculture. This is very important to know, because if you plant vineyards in an irrigation area, the quality is coming down and down and down. Okay, we need poor soils and where the plant suffer. Okay, but never go to the stress of the plant. The plant needs to suffer for half quality, and this is because we are not very close to the river. Okay.
Yeah, okay. And it would be nice if you could show us a map, because my family, we make maps. You know, the map. Yeah.
Oh,
If you give me some wine, I'll give you a map.
a map where we are located. Well, I try in 1 second. This is, have you ever been in Ribera del Duero? Rivera. Next time I'm going to prepare a map. I am going to put it behind me in the same time for show you the different parts. I know all the area of Ribera del Duero, because I work with the different areas and with the different grapes growing in the different areas. You can have the difference between the east and the west is completely the opposite, and the soils are different. You have parts with a lot of clay, you have parts with a lot of rocks, you have parts with the river stone, with sandy, and that gives you, and also with the Tempranillo, with the Tinto del País. Tinto del País, you have different clones, and this is very important for having special character.
just like Bordeaux.
And this is what I'm looking for, this winery, for have the essence of the grape, for make these special wines with a lot of personality, you know. Sorry, a moment, Rivera del Duero. Okay.
I have a question.
We have a question
Yeah.
here from Sunny. Sunny.
Yes, my question is, what is the difference between your flagship, which is Tomas Esteban, and Huega Bolos?
Juegabolos.
In relation with what we are discussing now.
Well,
Why did you pick Tomas Esteban?
well,
Why Huega Bolos?
Juegabolos, yes.
Sí.
Both of the wines are with a lot of potential, but what we are looking for Juegabolos is more freshness, okay? A little bit of complexity, but freshness. What we are looking for Tomas Esteban, it's a lot of complexity, okay? We need a lot of complexity. This is because we age the wine for Juegabolos around 12 months. It depends of how is the evolution of the aging. Maybe it's 12 months, 14, or but around 12 months. And for Tomas Esteban, it's over 18 months, 24 months, and sometimes close to 30 months in
the barrel? Or
in the barrel, yes.
In the barrel. So what
And
barrel do you use? Spanish or
no,
American?
no. Here in all our barrels that we have in the, we use a lot of new oak.
Okay.
The capacity is around 225 liters, and we have around the 80% French oak, and we have the other 20% American oak. Both all of this barrels are made by the French cooperage. Okay. And this is mainly the differences.
I have another question. But in terms of where you plant it, this is not a single variety or single vineyard area. Like for Tomas Esteban, it does not come from one plot, but from within your 70 hectares. Also with Huego Bolo, same? Is it the same
Yes, usually.
area?
No, well, Tomas Esteban is coming from, I think, maybe from two. It depends the year. Maybe 2, 3, or 1 plot, but are very small plots and are together. Maybe the only separates away to both plots. Are maybe the age of these different plots are a little bit different also, but always are coming from this 1 or 2 plots. Tomas Esteban. Juegabolos is the name of a plot. It's always coming from this plot. And Chiripa is usually coming from La Guindalera. This is a single plot. It's around, I'm not sure, maybe it's 4.5 or 5 hectares. Okay, but for Chiripa, the yield is 5,000 kilograms of grape. And for Tomas Esteban, the yields are very old plants. The yields are around 2,000 kilograms, 3,000 kilograms. All depends of the year of the vintage.
So the Tomas Esteban and Huega Bolos, you get very little grapes from the plant because it's old plants, old vines.
Yes, well, Chiripa is coming from 20 years old plants, 20. And Juegabolos and Tomas Esteban are coming from 80, 90 years old plants. Here the yields are, because the regulation of the production of old plants is very, very low. And for 20 years, we have to control the production. This is because we use a short pruning for control the production. Okay. And the old plants regulate by themselves the production. You have to prune and to control. Of course, that you have to pick up some leaves to have the sun to the plant. Okay, it is very important. And sometimes you have to control which bunches you want to grow for the future harvest. Okay, it's possible that you can have in a pond, and you can pick it up maybe starting August and or maybe in half August when the grape turns from green to dark. Okay, a moment.
Butch.
One moment. This is Ribera del Duero. Can you see?
No, it's very difficult, Isaac. Very difficult.
I know. Next time I'm going. Sure that I have here in my bureau. I have here a map, but next time I'm going to look for it. But well, we are in the middle of Ribera del Duero. If you take the river, along the river, it's 150 kilometers and 30. We are close to the middle, in the middle. Okay.
Just one question. How far are you from Vega Sicilia?
How?
How far?
How far from Sicilia?
Or from Bodegas Valderiz?
It's exactly driving because you are not going in directly. Exactly, we are around from 80, maybe 40 kilometers or so. 40.
Oh, so far.
40.
Kilometers.
This is nothing. But well, one special thing that I can say you for your information. I am from Valladolid. I grow in Ribera del Duero. I love my city, Valladolid. Vega Sicilia is in Valladolid province. In Valderiz, it's in Burgos. There is a lot of competition between both. Well, but which is better grape, Valladolid or Burgos? Ask to the different wineries or the different growers where these great wineries are going to look for the grapes that they are going to buy for produce the wines. Ask to them. I know the answer, but it's better to have this answered by them.
Burgos.
No, Burgos. One of the things Burgos has got mostly all the cooperatives. And who are the owners of this of the very old plots? They are very old vineyards. The cooperatives, the viticulture from the cooperatives. Valderiz, you have a lot of viticultures that make their own wineries like Valderiz. Valderiz only works with their own grape, with their own state. They never buy grapes like many of the wineries. But well, like Valderiz, you have a lot of wineries that produce their own grape. This is very important because it's one thing more for increase the quality.
Isaac, I must congratulate Bodegas Valderiz. You guys have been awarded top wines for the past few years by Wine Spectator and by Wine Enthusiast. And with you on board, it looks like Bodegas Valderiz has unlimited potential, and sky's the limit.
I think so. I am with the family during 15 years. Okay, and I know that there is a lot of potential, and this is possible to have a positive evolution for the future. I believe with them there is a very good confidence with the family, and an important thing is to go in the same way everybody in this. Okay.
I have a question to Butch. Butch.
Yes, Moji.
Yes, Gran Hacienda has allocation for Tomas Esteban in Vega de Bolos.
Vega de Bolos.
Yes, so this is the last question that I'll be taking. So we have Thomas Esteban, which is their top wine, and Huego Bolos just sold out. We have Thomas Esteban, a few more bottles left. But very important to note that among the labels, the flagship wine is a third wine. I think Isaac will agree. The third wine is the Valderiz. This is the wine that is highly regarded by many American reviewers and European reviewers, which we have sufficient stocks for everyone.
Okay.
And all the wines, all the line of the wines, excuse me, all the line of the wines from the Joven to the Tomás de are very well defined. You know, this is very important.
That's correct.
Between the Chiripa and the Roble, you have another crianza, Juega Bolos. Sorry, the Valdermoso. You know this wine, Butch?
Yes, yes. We chose to carry this four because they give different character, as you said, different expression
In Spanish.
Expression. That's correct. Before we close, can we do
Could you tell us more about that, the Roble? Yeah. I mean, the aging, is it a blend? Is it 100% Tempranillo?
Yes, it's usually it's 100% Tempranillo. This is coming from younger vines, maybe around the 15, 20, 25. This is coming from different plots, and well, here the production is around 500 kilograms, or maybe a little bit more. The yields of the different plots that we use for make this wine. Sorry, this is calling me the owner. Ricardo.
Ricardo Esteban is the owner of Bodega Valderiz. That's the owner.
Que sigo la nada, no, que estoy aquí en casa. Hasta luego. It was Ricardo. What's Ricardo, the owner? One is this one of the owner. This is two brothers. This is a family. This is the one of the sons of Tomás Esteban. Sorry, the Roble. This is aging. It's 9 months. Not exactly 9 months. It could be more, sure, or less. Usually, it's more than 9 months. It depends of the potential of aging in oak to this wine. Okay. The maceration of this wine is 10 days. The Chiripa is around between 10 and 12. But both wines are with not intense maceration, very soft maceration. And the temperature of fermenting temperature is between 20, 22 and arriving not always to 24 degrees centigrade, okay? And the aging is 9 months. This is in French and American oak. The percentage, it depends of the year. We used to put or to age in American oak because American oak, in the structure of the wood, the content of tannins are lower than the French oak. And usually we put it because it gives more sweetness to the wine. This kind of short aging wine, like the Roble, 9 months in oak, I think that it's good to give a little bit of American. You can, if you taste this wine, this is a fresh wine, a lot of fruit. You can feel perfectly the Tempranillo from Ribera del Duero. And this is a wine that never tires, okay? This is a wine that you can keep you can keep it at home. Yeah. If you are keeping this, if you keep this wine in a good condition of humidity, light, and temperature, you can have a wine for a long time. It's not like the Chiripa, like the Valderiz, like the Crianzas, but it is an interesting wine. And this is for a consumption of every day. Okay.
Congratulations, because you have achieved
One last question.
Wanted to achieve.
Or we let you go, Isaac. One last question for Sunny.
No problem. No problem. I leaving you now, and my next place is to you know the Rueda region.
Rueda.
Rueda is a region close to Valladolid where the people produce the special white wine with the Verdejo grape. It's a very famous.
Question is, how about your Joven? Is it also 100% Tempranillo?
Yes, usually it's a 100% Tempranillo. This is fermented. Well, this wine has got a cool maceration before the fermentation. This is like all the wines with fermented with indigenous yeast. Sorry, and the maceration is around 1 week, 10 days. Okay, but moving the wine, pump over the wine, not very often, and the level of temperature is between 20-22 degrees centigrade for keep more the fruit and have less structure.
Also, you put this in French oak also, or no? Directly.
The Joven.
Yes.
No, the Joven usually is unoaked.
So an oak immediately
Unoaked.
from the vat direct to the bottle.
Well, it's very easy. The sedimentation of the wine cleans. The sedimentation it's with low temperature, and it's going from the grape to the tank. The fermentation, we rack the wine, and after this, we put it immediately in the bottle.
Thank you very much. Gracias.
And this is all the wines have no treatments, no cool treatments, no chemical treatments for have stability in the wine. This is because maybe the youngest wines maybe can have a small precipitation in the bottle sometimes. But well, we take this risk because our pH, that I consider the most important parameter of the wines, is very low. This makes possible to have a better stability in our wines, microbiology stability and physical stability. Okay.
Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Isaac. Can we all raise our glass, if any, and a little cheers for Isaac for his time
And I take my phone.
presentation.
Salud!
Salud.
Salud. Salud. Next time, well, I'm going to have here my bottle and my glass also. Okay. Well, enjoy the wine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Adios.